Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Madeline, this is Made with Books, and today I am announcing that I am going to participate in the TBR Clear Out Readathon that is run by Katie from Books and Things. And I'm gonna have to do a little cheer because I tried to film this 5 times and it didn't work. I kept stumbling over my words, but now we're here, so that's great. The TBR Clear Out Readathon is run by Katie, as I said, from Books and Things. It is running all through the month of April, and the idea is just to read some of the books that are on your shelf. You can, it's like a very loosely defined readathon. You can say you want to read the books that have been the longest on your TBR, or just some that you don't want to get to, or like just some books you want to get off your shelf. And I was gonna do books that have been on my TBR for the longest at first when I heard that the readathon announcement, because if you remember at the beginning of the year I said I was gonna try to read one of those every month, and so far I haven't. And so I thought maybe April is a good month to catch up. But then I realized I have a huge currently reading pile right now, so I'm gonna dedicate April to this currently reading pile, or at least some of it. So I'm just I have one book that I'm currently reading that has been on my TBR the longest, which means roughly about 15 years or 14 years, and that is Le Fleur de Mal by Charles Baudelaire. I'm reading this in the German translation, and it has been translated from the French by Thérèse Robinson. And yeah, I'm enjoying this translation. The poetry is very accessible, but Baudelaire had some serious issues with women, if you're asking me. So this is one I will be reading throughout the month of April, just a poem here and there. And then one that I started reading for the Ulysses 2020 readathon, that is run by Alan from Big Heart Books and Classics and Mark from Mark Nash. I will link both of their channels down below and some of their videos on Ulysses. And I have started reading Ulysses, and if you're interested, because there's lots of different editions of Ulysses, I'm reading the one that is based on the 1939 Odyssey Press edition. This one has been annotated by Sam Sloat, Mark A. Mamegonian and John Turner, and has very tiny type, but the annotations are really helpful. I'm very far behind. Almost everybody else in the group I think is up to chapter 9. I only read up to chapter 3 so far, so the first part, which focuses on Stephen Dedalus and is sort of the equivalent to the Telemachy in the Odyssey by Homer. So I'm very behind, but we're taking actually a break in April, and so maybe this will give me time to catch up. I should say I'm reading it in English and German at the same time, just because the language is very dense, and I don't think I would get everything if I wouldn't be reading it also in German. And the German translation I really like, and it's been done by Hans Wollschläger, if you want to read Ulysses in German for some reason. Another one that I started last year, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to dig through these piles that are next to the camera, is The World of Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. And this is I think all the short stories that surround Worcester and Jeeves, or if not most of them. And I have read, I'm a fair bit into the book. I read till 360 something last year, and then I picked it up again this week, and I already read one story and enjoyed it immensely. If you're looking for something light-hearted, cheery and funny to read in these depressing times, P.G. Wodehouse would be my suggestion for sure. And then another one that I started reading at the beginning of the year for the Cromwellathon, which was run by Jason from Old Blues Chapter and Verse, and which is over by now. Like, they have read all the 3 Hilary Mantel books, and I'm still stuck on Wolfhall. I did really enjoy this, but I had to put it down when I started judging the BookTube prize, because there was a lot of reading. So I am 370 pages into this. It's if you don't know, it's a historical fiction novel, and talking or like dealing with the life of Thomas Cromwell. And yeah, it's just it's been a joy to read, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that one. And then one that I started last year and where I read the first part. I probably have to at least like flip through the pages again to remind myself, but I was really enjoying it. I have a lot of like notes on the side. Is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I don't know, if you don't know Frankenstein, I can't help you. No, I'm kidding. So this is an English classic from 1818, I want to say. And has been redone, I think, for 1832, so there's like 2 different editions circulating. Yeah, it's about this scientist named Frankenstein who creates a monster from human parts. So, fun stuff. So the monster is already out and about at the point that I was at when I stopped reading this. So it will be interesting to see how things go. So far I don't particularly like Frankenstein. He's a bit of an idiot. Another classic that I started reading long time ago, October 2018, and I got a fair bit in, and then I don't know, I stopped, and I was really enjoying it, which counts for all these books, by the way. So maybe Ulysses, if I'm being honest. Don't shoot me. But I do want to read it. But another one was Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. This is the first Thomas Hardy I ever picked up. I've already come to, like, the part with the sheep has already happened. If you have read this book, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about and don't plan to read this book but still want to know, then go to Alan Morton's channel and look for his 5 Scenes in Literature tag version, I want to say it's called. It was created by Paul from PK Books, and he talks about that scene there. It's getting a bit windy here, so we'll see how this goes. And then I have 2 more Victorian classics that I started reading. One is At the Back of the Northwind by George MacDonald, which I want to say I started last October or shortly after, if not. But I'm not far into this one. I don't know, it's 2 or 3 chapters in. I've started this before, and I don't know, I just need to get over it and read it. And then the other one, and no, it's not this entire book, it's Silas Manner by George Eliot, which we just own in this huge George Eliot bind-up that also contains Adam Bede, Middlemarch, and the Mill on Floss. And I've read Middlemarch, but I haven't read any other of George Eliot's novels. And so I picked Silas Manner up in December when Kate Howe was doing her read-along of it. And again, I was enjoying it, but we went on our travels to Vietnam, and then I just wasn't going to take this alongside with me. And yeah, when we got back, I was in the middle of other books, so that's how one got sidetracked. And 3 more books, and you realize why I should work on my currently reading pile. And one is from another readathon last year, or read-along, and that's The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. And there was a read-along run by Juan from Just One Reader and Sarah from Hardcover Hearts. I hope that's your channel name, Sarah. If not, I'm sorry I butchered it, and I'll put the correct one in the description down below. And I read the first 3 chapters, so I was like 130 pages in. But August last year, I didn't read a lot. I didn't feel like reading a lot. And so it wasn't the best time to pick up such a big book, so I'm happy to get back into this one, so I was enjoying it. And then one that I haven't picked up in ages, I don't think I will pick up in April, but I do want to pick up at some point, is Little Dorrit by Dickens, which I was supposed to be buddy reading together with Daniel, and we both kind of stopped. And the other one was another buddy read that I abandoned, and that was Alan Morton. I was still sorry, Alan, because I know you hated the book and I made you read it. I'm sorry. But that was the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. I actually think it's kind of funny. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked it. I certainly didn't hate it like Alan seemed to. So I do want to get back to this. Again, I don't think it's one I'm going to be picking up in April though, but I just wanted to like throw all these books in there as, you know, potential candidates. I'm hoping to at least get a few of these read during April. And yeah, I have other books that I'm currently reading, but they haven't been on my currently reading pile this long, so I'm not going to include them in this video, and I think it's long enough at this point. So yeah, wish me luck. getting that number down. So yeah, if you're participating in the readathon, let me know what you're reading. If you're not participating, still let me know what you're reading. And I will see you soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys!